Hey, it's Miss Brandy again. Welcome back. And for any of you that might be new here, well, like I said, I'm Miss Brandy, and I'm going to show you some really cool art projects that you can do with the stuff that that's in your box that you were given from your school or Early Learning Center or Head Start Center. All right, so what month is it? April. And what happens in April? Well, we've got Easter, spring is in the air, all the flowers are blooming. Now there is a lot of pollen everywhere, which is that yellow powdery stuff that you see on everything. And I'm sure that has some of your little noses itching and you're sneezing, but spring is really beautiful even with all the pollen, right? Okay, so are you ready to see what's inside your box? Great. All right, so first you have your box, but you also should have received one of these packs of tissue paper, and it's in nice pastel spring Easter colors. All right, and inside of your box, we're gonna start right from the top. You should have a little baggie that has little bunnies and Easter eggs on it that has rice in it. Now, we're not gonna cook up this rice and eat it, even though I love rice, right? Like red beans and rice, gumbo over rice, beef stew over rice, which I'm having for dinner tonight. No, we are not gonna cook it. We're gonna use it for one of our art projects. That's right, rice in art? What are you talking about, Miss Brandy? Well, I will show you, okay? All right, and then you'll also have 2 of these little white circles, 2 clothespins. I'll get that in a minute. All right, then you'll have a balloon, okay? So you're probably gonna have a grown-up help you with this, but hopefully you don't have any holes or defects, anything's wrong with your balloon. If so, hopefully you can find a new balloon somewhere. It's not one of the great big balloons. This is a 9-inch balloon. You don't want it too big, but you don't want it too little either, okay? All right, and then you'll have 2 different colored little circles. This is called washi tape. It's really cool. I'll show you what we're gonna do with that later. Then you'll have a sheet of raindrop stickers, okay? So before you go putting these on your hands or your clothes or anything like that, let's save them for your art project. And then if you have any left over, then you can use them for something else, okay? And then you'll have a little clear bowl. And you'll have some coffee filters, all right? These are great. Of course, you make coffee and stuff with them, but you can really do a lot of cool things with them, and I'm gonna show you something really cool we'll do with it. You should have 4 of these. You may have more than 4, but you should at least have 4. They're kind of tricky to separate and get just one, but I'll show you a cool trick to get them separated after a little while. Okay, now you're going to have a smaller bottle than this. This is what I have in my studio, but this is called Mod Podge. Can you say that with me? Mod Podge, Mod Podge. And this is great stuff. It's kind of like glue, but a little different. You can use it for all kinds of things. Really great stuff. Always good to have on hand for your art projects. Then you'll have a little pipette, okay, that's what that's called, a pipette, and a foam brush. You will also have 2 sheets of aluminum foil. Now, of course, these are already cut out for me, but if you want to just rip some more off of a roll of aluminum foil, it works just the same. But you should have 2 sheets in your box. And you'll also have a tube, a long cardboard tube. I see you. All right. Then you'll have 2 different colored pipe cleaners, a set of markers, very colorful, and lastly, a little chocolate bunny. Happy Easter. This is from us to you. I love chocolate bunnies. I eat the ears first. Yep, I always eat the ears first. That's right, but you eat it however you want to. I'm just letting you know how I'm gonna do it when I tear into this thing. Now, do not eat this until you've asked a grown-up if you can, okay? You might be allergic, or you might not need to have it right now. So be sure to ask a grown-up before you eat it, okay? All right, that's everything in the box. Are you ready to get started on our very first project? All right, let's get started. Alrighty, for our first project, this is going to be an Easter themed project. So I do hope that you are watching this video before Easter. I know that you got these boxes really soon, really close to Easter. So hopefully you've had time to open up your box and do all of these things, okay? All right, so for this first one, I'm gonna need you to grab your tissue paper, your bowl, your Mod Podge, your balloon, and your foam brush, okay? All right, first things first, I'm gonna set aside my bowl, my Mod Podge, my balloon, and my brush, okay? And I'm going to open up my tissue paper. On the bottom end of it, you'll just open that up just like that. Okay. And inside, you've got all these colorful sheets of tissue paper. All right, let me back this up a little bit. That way you can see a little bit more, okay? All right, so we've got purple, green, pink, yellow, and blue. Aren't those pretty? All right, so for this project, you're gonna need a lot of torn up pieces of tissue paper. Now, you can use all the colors, just a couple of the colors, 1 or 2 or 3 of the colors, or you can use just one color. That is totally up to you. This is your project, so you do it however you want. I like all of these colors, so I'm gonna use all of these colors, okay? So I'm gonna start by just tearing long strips, and it might come off something like that, that's okay. And I'm just gonna take that and make it into smaller pieces. All right, just like that. Go from the other side. Oh yeah, that's a big long one. All right. Now some of them you can leave long, okay? So I want you to tear up some small pieces and some longer pieces, okay? And I'll show you why after a while. And I'm going to separate mine. I'm gonna keep my little pieces on one side of my table and the larger pieces over here by itself. All right, I'm just gonna keep tearing pieces. I'm gonna keep that as a long one. Maybe I'll do some of these other colors. Let me get some blue. Get a long strip of blue. Now, this project is going to take some time. It's gonna take a good amount of time to actually make, and then it's gonna take a good amount of time for it to dry and be ready for the next step of the project, okay? That is okay, right? Great things take time sometimes. So right now, I'm just gonna make all of my long pieces, and then I'll go through and make my little pieces. All right, I've got a couple yellows, a couple purples. I'll do some pink now. It's kind of fun just tearing up all of this paper, isn't it? Rip it up. All right, got a couple of those. Get some of this green. And the great thing about it is it doesn't matter what shape your pieces of paper turn out to be. It really doesn't matter for this project, okay? See, that one just kind of came off little by itself, so I'll put that in my small pile. Okay, so now I've got, let me get them all over here for you. So now I've got a bunch of long ones. I've got 2 or 3 of each color. All right, I'm just gonna put that in a pile off to the side, and now I'm gonna start making my little pieces, okay? All right. Now you've probably seen this stuff before, this tissue paper for when people put it in gift bags when you give a present, whether it's for birthdays or Christmas or any other occasion that you give presents for. But it's also really, really great at making art projects and craft projects. It's very useful. All right. So I'm just gonna keep sitting here tearing up my paper, and I want you to do the same. You're gonna need a lot of it. So have fun ripping up all this paper, and I'll go into super speed mode. And when I'm done tearing up all my paper, not the whole package, but when I've got a lot of it torn up, yeah, you're not gonna tear up this whole package of paper. All right, I'll see you back here when I'm done tearing up my few sheets of paper, okay? Whew, okay. That's a lot of tearing, huh? And we may still need more of this while we make our project, but you'll see I have got a lot of little pieces of paper and also my big strips of paper, okay? I'm gonna kind of separate those out. I've got my longer ones in there too. I wasn't very organized with my stuff. All right, again, I'm just gonna put those off to the side. All right, now we are going to get ready to blow up our balloon and glue this paper onto the balloon. All right, so you've got your little bottle. It was probably going to be very helpful if you get a separate little bowl, so don't use this one. Use another bowl or even a paper plate or something and pour your Mod Podge into that or onto that, okay? Since mine has this big wide mouth on the container, I'm just gonna dip it straight out of this, okay? All right, and I'm gonna throw that in the trash. All right. Smells kind of funny, but it's very useful stuff, I promise. All right, so next I'm going to blow up my balloon. I always want to give it a little stretch. Now remember, I know that you'll probably need help with this. So, all right, here we go. Whoa, that didn't work out how it usually does. Hang on a second. Now, you do not want to make it huge, 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 okay? Like I said, these are 9-inch balloons, so you don't want to blow them up so much that they pop, but about like that is good, okay? Here's your bowl for reference, okay? So you can kind of see how big the bowl is and how big that is. In fact, I'm gonna let a little bit of air out so it sits down in there pretty good. Okay, all right, and we're gonna tie it off. Give it a good little stretch here. Ooh, sometimes balloons can be so tricky to tie. All right, now what do we have to do with balloons, right? Be careful that we don't pop them, okay? All right, so I'm gonna get you to put the end that you tie straight down in the bowl, okay? We're gonna start working on the round top of it, all right? Now, as you saw in the picture before this part of the video started, we're going to make an Easter basket. That's right. Now this Easter basket is not going to be used for you to carry around and hunt eggs in, okay? It's not strong enough for that. This is more for decoration, okay? You can put it on your table or in your house, just for decoration, all right? So we do want it to be very strong. That way, when we pop the balloon and the balloon goes away, that it'll hold up on its own. So that's why you need so much paper, because you're gonna put layers and layers and layers of paper on top of this, and that paper is going to get really strong with the help of each other and with the Mod Podge, okay? All right, so what does a basket look like, right? It's like a bowl, which is a half circle, right? And then it has a handle on the top. So this rounded part down here, that's gonna be our bowl, okay? So you're not gonna cover the entire balloon, you're gonna stop about halfway. So you're gonna do everything from the rounded end all the way around, everywhere down here, about halfway down, okay? And then you're gonna make a handle that goes across the top, all right? So that's why we're gonna put a little tied end down, all right? It's gonna take some imagination and just having to think about it, you know, in order to do this, okay? So the first thing I'm gonna do is take my brush and dip it in my Mod Podge. You don't need to dunk your whole brush in there. You just need a little bit, okay? And I'm gonna start at the top, and I'm just going to put a little bit on there. All right, you can see that already. And you can pick this up with your hands just like this, or what I like to do is use my brush, and it just sticks right to it, see? And then place it down on there. And then it's very important that each piece of paper, you completely cover it in the Mod Podge. Like that, okay? Whoop, I made a mess. That's okay, that's why these things are fun, huh? We get to be messy. All right, so be sure to do every single edge of the paper. I like to start in the middle of the paper and work my way going out in every direction. That's a really good way to make sure that you've got it all, okay? Just like that. Then I'm gonna come down here, and it's okay to touch it. I'm just gonna hold my balloon just like this, okay? I'm gonna put some more right here. I'm gonna pick up another piece of paper just like that, and I'm gonna do it, I'm gonna let it overlap that piece of paper so it's sitting on top of that piece of paper, but also just part on the balloon. And I'm gonna do the same thing. All right, I'm gonna take my jacket off here so I don't get any glue on it, or Mod Podge, I should say. So you see, I'm making sure that that paper is sitting completely flat on the balloon, okay? It's okay to have wrinkles, but all of the edges are glued down, okay? All right. Next, I think I'll just come right here. It doesn't really matter which order you put it on there, it really doesn't. You just want to be careful not to put it where you don't want it, okay? Which is where? From here up, at least right for now. We'll put the handle on last, so for right now, only halfway up to the round part of the balloon. All right. Get some of that extra off, there you go. All right. And so if you didn't get glue, or I keep saying glue, if you don't get Mod Podge on the balloon where your paper is sitting, you can just lift it back up and then lay it back down. You definitely want that layer of glue underneath the paper and on top of the balloon. Okay. See? And you can pick it up. You don't have to set it in the bowl the whole time. You can hold it if you want to. And so you see I'm overlapping the paper. There was paper already there, but I want the new piece of paper to also sit on top of that. That weaving of the paper is what helps make it strong and hold up. Okay? You see how they kind of overlap? And then as they overlap and the colors kind of mix together, it creates this really cool effect, and sometimes even new colors. All right, so right there, there's pink balloon, like right there, you see, whoop. There's a little bitty gaps. You see that little gap right there where that pink is? See, we wanna make sure that all of that balloon is covered. All right, no gaps. So I'm gonna make sure that my paper covers that up. Just like that, see? Now, like I said, we're gonna do many, 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 many layers of this, which means that you're gonna cover this whole area completely. I would say do it 5, maybe 6 or 7 times, because the thicker that layer of paper is, the stronger it's gonna be. I would hate for you to pop your balloon when all of your Mod Podge is dry and it just fall apart, okay? That is not what we want to happen. I don't have any purple yet, I don't think. Maybe one piece. I got one piece of purple. All right, so you're just gonna keep doing that all the way around down here. Now, the reason why I made my long strips is because right about this halfway mark where I want the top of the basket, the rim of the basket to be, we definitely want that to be really, really strong. So I'm going to paint a nice big stripe of Mod Podge. And then I'm gonna take one of my long pieces of tissue paper, whoa, and I'm gonna make the edge of it where I want the basket to stop to sit right there, okay? And I'm gonna glue that whole thing down. All right, I'm even gonna peel it back. Put some more Mod Podge right there. Wrap it around. Now you don't want any huge folds in your paper. You want it to mostly sit flat. Again, if you didn't get some Mod Podge where your paper is sitting, just pick it up, put some Mod Podge down, and keep on going. Isn't this a fun little technique that we're doing? See, so now I've kind of made a rim to that. I'm gonna come over here. You can see where they're about to meet up. There's my blue paper, and then again right there, I'm going to kind of connect those. With another strip of long paper. I think I'm going to do purple. No reason for it, so you just want the edges to kind of line up. You are going to get Mod Podge on your fingers. There's no getting around that, I don't think. At least I haven't figured out a way to do it, but of course I can't even bake something without getting flour all over myself, so maybe I'm just clumsy. I don't know. Maybe you're more careful than I am. Okay, so now I've got a good nice band around my balloon, and so I know that everything from here to here is what I'm going to cover in paper, okay? So I'm going to keep working at this. Remember, you want to make many layers, so cover it completely, go over it again and again and again and again. Like I said, maybe 5, 6, 7 times, just depending on how much time you want to spend on your project, okay? I'm gonna go into super speed mode, all right? And I'll see you here when we're both done, all right? Okay, so you may have some more layers to go, and that's all right. I've got several layers on mine. Places where your fingers might have been touching, the paper might kind of come up a little bit. That's okay. You just take your brush and just smooth them all out. Okay. Just make sure all the paper is laying down nice and smooth and flat. Now this technique, what we're doing here is called paper mache. It also could be considered decoupage. Just a really neat way to make things out of paper that kind of stand up on their own. Okay, so now that we've done that, I'm going to quickly show you how to do the handle for our basket. So you see, turn it all the way around. There's all of these colors. There's lots of layers. You can feel that one side of your balloon is heavier than the other. Now, I'm going to put this end, the bottom end, on the bowl now. And that Mod Podge will kind of help it stay in place too. All right, so how do we make a handle that goes across the top of it with this little nub in the way? Well, real easy. We're gonna find a side that is just a little bit off to the side of your little tie right here, okay? And I'm gonna take one of my long strips. Now, we don't want a big wide piece like that, right? We just want a kind of half an inch to an inch wide. A grown-up can help you figure out what that means, okay? So we just want a strip. A thin strip. Okay, we're gonna find a side over here, right? And we're gonna imagine that laying all the way across like that. And we're gonna make that handle by placing several layers of these strips across, all right? So my first step is to put down my Mod Podge. So I'm gonna just imagine where that handle would be, right? I'm gonna come up, I'm gonna go just to the side of my little nub here, and I'm gonna go all the way down to the other side. All right, so I've got that from one side of the basket to the other side of the basket. See? All right, and I'm gonna start laying on my strips. I'm gonna start by connecting one end of my strip down here. I'm gonna let it kind of lay on the basket at least like that much. Okay, and I'm just going to bring it up following that line of glue. Now, if you wanted to, you could just leave it like this bottom part without the handle, and you would just wait for all of this Mod Podge to dry completely, then pop your balloon, and then you've got a really pretty paper bowl. But since it's Easter and this is our project, we're gonna make a handle and make it an Easter basket, okay? Hard to mess with this paper when your hands are covered in glue, huh? So again, I'm gonna come down here. I'm gonna let some of it go onto the basket part, come up and connect it to my other strip, okay? So now I've got a handle that goes all the way across, and then I'm just gonna keep layering paper over it and over it until I've got a nice, strong, sturdy handle. Like, I'm picking up extra pieces of paper on my table as I go along, so I'm just gonna go ahead and glue that down. Can't hurt nothing. It's just gonna make it stronger. All right. Okay. Again, that's a little bit too wide, so I'm going to tear it down into smaller strips. This one I actually might be able to place all the way across. Yes, I can. That's great. Forget the other side. Look, that one wraps all the way around. That's okay. That is all right. Again, extra pieces of paper that might stick to it, just go ahead and glue them down. Look how colorful that is. Isn't that pretty? Do another strip of purple. Really important thing is to make sure that every single bit of your paper is covered in glue. That includes all of this down here. Everything must get the Mod Podge. All right, so now that I've done this a couple of times, now I can go in and grab some smaller pieces and kind of just place them how I want them and give my handle some different colors as well. Now, one thing that I like to do to kind of make the edges of my handle a little bit neater is where there's really thin edges, I go in with my brush at an angle, you see, like that, and I kind of push that wet paper in. So it creates a nice straight edge. I know that's kind of hard to see on there, but trust me, it's there. Look at my bowl just hanging on. Okay. You see how that pink piece of paper, it's wider than the purple right here. You've got some extra. So once I get it nice and wet with the glue, I'm going to end up pushing it. Okay, I'll show you that. Okay, so you see I've got this thin layer of, let me get all the extra glue off. I've got this thin layer of pink paper and I want to push it towards the purple paper right there. So I'm just gonna take the end of my brush and push. You can also take your finger and push it. Okay, can you see that? I'm just pushing it. Now it's gonna create like a little pile of paper. Then you just go down with your brush and smooth it out, push it down, and now you've got that. And that will also help to make it stronger. All right, I'm gonna keep, look at that. Isn't that awesome? Okay, I'm gonna finish my handle real quick, and then I'll see you back here in a second, all right? Okay, all right, now I'm gonna pull my bowl off here, smooth out any bits that I have sticking up. And now I've got my handle and my basket. Okay, so you're gonna need to let this dry, the Mod Podge dry for a day, a whole day, 2 days. The longer the better before you pop your balloon. Do not pop your balloon until all of the glue is dry, okay? All right, so I made one yesterday so that way it would be dry, and I will show you what this is gonna do. Let me clear all this stuff out of the way. So this is the one that I made yesterday, all right? You can hear that. All right, so fingers crossed that this goes well. So I'm a grown-up, so I have scissors. I want you to get a grown-up to help you with this, okay? With this balloon popping. So we're going to pop it fast, all right? Oh, man. Okay, and there we go. So at first it didn't look like it was gonna do what it was supposed to do, but it did right. It did well. Okay, so you're just gonna get all of your balloon out of there and throw that in the trash, okay? And now you can go through and pop out little indentations that may have happened when your balloon popped. And you've got a cute little basket. Isn't that sweet? Yeah, now like I said, remember, now this is not gonna be heavy duty enough for you to fill up with eggs and stuff, okay? I'd hate for it to tear up. But it's a sweet little decoration for your, like I said, your table, your house. Look how cute, oh my goodness. It's a little Easter basket, y'all. Alrighty. Good job. And remember, let that glue dry all the way. And if for some reason yours just does not turn out right, try again. Okay, you should have lots of tissue paper left over. So all you should need is a balloon and your Mod Podge to do it again. And just remember this paper mache technique. With balloons, you could make a giant Easter egg by covering the whole balloon, just except for a little piece at the top that you'll use to pop your balloon. There's all kinds of cool stuff that you can do with them. And have fun peeling up all of this Mod Podge off of your fingers. Look at that. Alrighty. Have a happy Easter. Okie dokie, for this project, we are going to be making butterflies, okay? For this one, you're gonna need your markers, coffee filters, clothespins, your pipette, your bowl from your Easter basket project, now that you're not using it for that, with a little bit of water in it. You don't need a whole lot, you don't have to fill it up, you just need a little bit. And I've grabbed a couple of paper towels, okay? All right, so first we're going to set our water and pipette to the side. You can just put that right down in there because that's what you're gonna use it for. And your pipe cleaners and your clothespins. And actually I'm gonna set my paper towels to the side too. So first you'll just need your markers and your coffee filters, okay? Now this project is another project that you're gonna have to like wait a day or so because you're gonna get these wet. These coffee filters are gonna be wet and you're gonna want them to be dry when you go to make your butterflies, okay? So I'm gonna start with one coffee filter, okay? So sometimes these like to stick together, okay? You can tell that it's one because it's kind of see-through. You can see through it like that, okay? And right here, I have two that are pretty good and stuck together. So a trick that I like to use is to hold it on its side like this and blow to try to separate those. Go. See how they're separated? And now I have 4, okay? All right, so if it doesn't look like you have 4 in your box, maybe 2 or 3 of them are just stuck together, okay? All right, so I'm just gonna grab one for now. All right, I'm gonna kind of flatten it out a little bit. Now, butterflies come in all shapes and colors. So I want you to make your butterfly look however you want it to. You can use all the colors or just one color or lots of colors. It doesn't matter to me. This is your butterfly. We're gonna make 2 butterflies. So I think one of my butterflies, I'm gonna make it look like a monarch butterfly, which looks like this. Y'all have seen those, the black and orange ones. They're gorgeous. You see them a lot this time of year. So that one's gonna look like a real butterfly, okay? And then I think my other butterfly, I'm just gonna make it crazy looking, all kinds of bright colors, okay? So for my monarch butterfly, I'm gonna take my black and my orange, because that's what color they are, huh? And for each butterfly, you're gonna use 2 filters, okay? All right, so we're just gonna color this, okay? You color it however you want to. You can make shapes or patterns or just scribble blotches on it. It really doesn't matter. I promise you, whatever you do to these, in the end, it's gonna look so pretty, no matter what, okay? So you don't have to do it exactly how I'm doing it, but if you want to, you can. All right, so I'm gonna start by just putting a black line all the way around the edge. Now you do not have to color these in all the way, because when you put the water on it, if you've done our other coffee filter and water projects before, you know that the colors spread out and they kind of meet each other and fill in the white space. So you don't have to color it in completely, all right? So on a monarch's wings, they have these black lines that kind of run all through it. So that's what I'm gonna do. I'm just gonna make these black lines. Now, I do have a suspicion, or I think what's gonna happen with this black when we put water on it is it's going to end up looking more green. Because black inks, they're very rarely actually black. They actually have lots of colors in them, whether it's blue or green, purple, but that's okay. We'll still get that effect that we want. All right, and I'm gonna go in here and just put some orange down. Now, I'm not using the very tip of my marker. I'm using the side. I'm going in and I'm coloring on the side, not up and down like this. You can do it like that. See, you can do it like that, but you see it creates a much thinner line, and I'm gonna spend a lot more time trying to color in and fill the space. So I'm turning it on its side and doing it that way. You see, you get a much bigger, thicker line of color. Aren't butterflies just so magical? It's nice to have such a pretty bug that doesn't bite or sting. All they do is fly around and pollinate our plants and flowers and make everything pretty, huh? Do you know where a butterfly comes from? Do you know what a butterfly was before it became a butterfly? Yeah, was it a caterpillar? Yeah. And each butterfly's caterpillar looks completely different than all the other caterpillars too. Certain caterpillars eat certain foods. I know the monarch, their caterpillars travel from all the way up from Canada, which is above the United States, all the way down to Mexico every single year in the thousands and thousands, maybe even millions. And they all gather together and they bunch up on the trees and they sleep. They hibernate. And on their way from Canada to Mexico, they lay eggs that will turn into caterpillars only on a plant called the milkweed. And when those eggs hatch, they're caterpillars exclusively. They only eat the milkweed, and then they form a chrysalis or a cocoon, and they turn into monarch butterflies. And then they, in turn, make that journey all the way down to Mexico. Isn't that fantastic? I think that's just so special. All right. So I did one of mine, so I'm going to make two for my monarch, right? And again, I'm going to make a black line around the edges because monarch butterflies, the edges of their wings are usually black. Kind of looks like a basketball a little bit, like a very artsy, abstract basketball, huh? All right, I'm just gonna, instead of doing what I did on the other one, I'm gonna do something a little different. I'm gonna create these circles here. Because sometimes butterflies have what looks like eyes on their wings, and that helps them to disguise themselves and to scare off any other birds or bugs that might want to eat them, because it looks like a much bigger animal staring back at them. These big old eyes, right? And then I think I'm just going to draw a line down the middle. Maybe a line from that one to that one. You don't have to have any rhyme or reason to these designs. You just kind of do whatever you want. This is just how I'm doing mine. All right, so I've got that going on. I think I'm going to make these a little bit thicker. Get a lot of that black on there. All right. Okay, and I'm just going to do the same thing like I did on the other one. And color in this space with my orange. You don't have to move as fast as I do. I know that I move kind of fast, but I'm always trying to make these videos before I run out of battery on my camera. And you know what? Inside of these eyes, instead of orange, I think I'm gonna do yellow. Because why not? Doesn't hurt. So there's no wrong way to do this project. There we go. All right, so now I've got two of mine for my monarch butterfly. I'm just gonna set those to the side, and now I'm gonna make my super colorful butterfly. I'm just gonna go ahead and take all of these out of here. I may not use all of them, but I might, who knows? All right, I think I wanna do some blue. A very popular blue butterfly is the swallowtail, I believe that it's called. Those are gorgeous. Okay, for this one, I think that I'm gonna make some big old circles. Just like that. I'm just gonna go around making circles. All right, now I would like some more blue on this guy, so I'm going to just make smaller blue circles right here. Like I said, you do it however you want. I would love to see how yours look. If you wouldn't mind having your teacher or your parents or another grown-up in your life to send me a picture of your work. You don't have to be in it if you don't want to. Just send me a picture of what you've done. I'll put at the end of this video, I'll put where you can send that. Okay? All right, next, I think I'll make some triangles in between my circles. Right? Triangles have 3 sides. 1, 2, 3. All right? So 1, 2, 3. Color it in. Pretty. And then I think I'll do some yellow. I think I'm gonna make everything in this middle right here yellow, just like that. And then maybe some orange. I'm just going to put a ring of orange. Just going to do a circle. Okay, and we'll see how that turns out when we get our water on it. And then I think on this one, what I'm going to do is just make kind of like a pie. I'm going to have a slice of each color. I'll make it a little bit wider. Okay, got my orange, and I'm going to do it in rainbow order, so Roy G. Bibb. So I started with orange. Let me do my R for my red right next to the orange. So red, orange. What comes next? Yellow. And this is going to be like a color wheel. All right, yellow. Next is green. Then what? Blue. Then purple. Actually, I'm gonna, wait, that's blue again. Silly me, they looked so similar, I picked up the wrong one. All right. Purple or violet. And I've got one more bit there, so I'm going to kind of split it down the middle between red and purple. Make my red a little bit bigger. Ta-da! My rainbow wheel. All right. Now I'm done with my markers. So what do we do with that when we're done? We pick them up, huh? I'm gonna put them back in my box. Now any other time I would put them back in my box in rainbow order too, but I will spare you for now. All right, so I'm gonna show you, let's see, which one do we wanna do? I think I'll do this one. I'm going to show you how to do one of these first, and then I'll show you the ones that I did yesterday that are already dry. All right, so I'm gonna lay down my paper towels and put the one that I wanna do on top of it. Then I'm gonna grab my bowl of water and my pipette. All right, so to work one of these, you just squeeze. Oh, there was water in there and I squirted it everywhere. Oh, Miss Brandy's being clumsy today. Okay, so we're gonna squeeze the end of it, hold on to that squeeze, put the tip down in the water and let go. And you'll see that it sucks up water, okay? So you're going to just start putting water all over your coffee filter and watch how the colors all run together. Get more water when you need it. And some of the colors will even mix and form new colors. And those are really cool. You want to get your coffee filter completely wet. No dry spots. You can also do this with like a spray bottle. You may have one at home or you can find one at the store. However you want to do it, however you get water on here is fine. That's okay. All right. Okay, so then when you got it all wet, your paper towel is also going to be very wet and it may go through as well. But you can see they've all blended together and these will continue to blend and move around as they dry. See, now I got it on my hands. All right. But so you're gonna do every single one of your coffee filters. All right, you're gonna do this to all of them and watch what the colors do with one another, okay? And then you're gonna let these dry completely. It's probably gonna take a whole day, okay? You can leave them on your paper towels and put them in a safe spot, or you can take clothespins and hang them up somewhere if you have a way to do that, all right? All right, but once they're dry, let me dry up my table a little bit there. Once they're dry, they're going to look a little something like this. Hold on, I'll be right back. See? They're gonna look like that. All right. There's another color wheel one that I did yesterday. Doesn't that look cool? And these are the ones that I made to look like a monarch. You see that black ink did turn a little bit green and some blue, but there's still some black pigment in there as well. I just think that looks so neat. It's almost like tie-dye, right? And there's another one that we did. Isn't that cool? All right, so I'm gonna group those together and I'm gonna show you how to do this, okay? All right, so for each butterfly, you're gonna have your 2 coffee filters that you want to go together and one of your clothespins and one of your pipe cleaners, okay? All right, so butterflies have 2 top wings and 2 bottom wings, right? I don't know how to do my hands to show you that, all right? We have wings on one side and wings on the other side, all right? So just pick which ones you want to be the top wing. I think I'm gonna let these be the top big wings, all right? You're going to kind of, you can fold it if you want to, and then bring it together in the middle, right? And do just like that. So what I did was fold it in half, and then I grabbed right here in the middle and scrunched together. Kind of makes like a bow, right? So those are gonna be one set of wings. And then I'm gonna do the same thing to the other one. That's my other set of wings. So then when you put them together, you see? you've got a butterfly. All right. So you're going to use your clothespin. Now you can go in here with your markers and color this, okay? You can color this as well, however you want to. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to pinch these together, and I'm going to use my clothespin to hold it in place. All right. Ta-da! Isn't that pretty? You got like a little butterfly. But butterflies have antennas, don't they? Yeah. So that's where our pipe cleaner comes in. At the top, you're going to find the middle of your pipe cleaner and open up your clothespin one more time and get that pipe cleaner down in there. Now I know there's a lot going on in there, but it should all fit, okay? So now we've got our pipe cleaner in there. Oh, come on. Well, I say it'll fit, it will fit. It will fit, it's going to fit. Okay, there we go. All right, so now we've got our pipe cleaner. You know what we're gonna do? I'm gonna take the top wings out, put the pipe cleaner in, and then the other wings, right? And I'm gonna bring those around to the bottom and up around the top. So I've got them on one side there, and I'm just gonna give them a twist at the top. I'm just gonna twist it. So now it'll stay at the top, okay? All right, problem solved. Sometimes things seem like they're gonna work in our heads, and then when we actually do them, they don't work. All right, so what I'm gonna do is start curling my little antennas here to create a cute little twirly antenna. All right, and there we go. We have a butterfly. That's so pretty. All right, now I'm gonna do my other one. So you see, that's where I did my eyes on my other one, huh? All right, so fold in half, then scrunch together in the middle. Just like that. And then again, yes. And scrunch together. Now I'm kind of going in here and opening up these two sides. That's what I'm doing. Again, sometimes we figure it out as we go. All right. So I'm going to put one set of wings in my clothespin, and then my antennas, then my pipe cleaner. All right, and then my last set of wings. All right, and then remember what I did? I flipped it over. You can see the pipe cleaner. I'm going to bring it up towards the top, twist it. Okay, so now we've got that. It's twisted. And then curl the antennas. This time I'm going to go inwards. Come on. There you go. And now we've got another little butterfly. And while it isn't as black and orange as a monarch butterfly, it still looks really, really pretty. Doo-doo-doo. And I think these are just a really great way to celebrate spring and the beautiful butterflies that come with it, okay? All right, we're gonna fly away to our next project. Good job. Alrighty, for our last project this month, we're going to make rain sticks. You may have seen these before. This is what some of them look like. All right, rain sticks are believed to be invented by the Mapuche, can you say that with me? Mapuche people of Chile and South America, but they've also been seen in some North American, Native American tribes. They've been seen in Asia, Africa, and all over the world. And what they're really made out of is a cactus. All right, so you've got this long cactus and they let it dry up, and it's got two cut off ends. So pretend that this is your cactus tube, except it would have spines all over it, right? And you would let this dry in the sun until it's all the way dry. And then they would take something and hammer the thorns into the cactus, right? And then seal up the ends and fill it. Well, first, before sealing it, they would fill it up with like beans or grains or little pebbles even, and then seal up both ends. And then when you turn it, it creates a musical instrument known as a rain stick. And a lot of these tribes use them in ceremonies in hopes that it will bring rain. Now, rain is something that we've had a lot of lately because that's what it does in the spring. In fact, and there's a little saying that goes, April showers bring May flowers, meaning all the rain that we get in April brings us lots of beautiful plants and flowers in May. But maybe we'll need this rain stick in the summer when we don't get so much rain, okay? You can bust out this rain stick, do a little dance with it, and hope that it will bring us some rain, okay? And that's why we have little raindrop stickers, all right? All right, so to get started, we're gonna take our tube and our markers and our washi tape and everything else we're gonna set to the side, okay? The first thing we're gonna do is decorate it, right? Because you want it to be really, really pretty. Now you can do this however you want, but I've provided these markers and this washi tape for you to use. And also, well, sorry about that, and your stickers. Okay, so you do it however you want. In fact, if there's things that you have at home or at school that you want to use to decorate this, feel free to do so. I want you to make this completely yours, okay? So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna start off with my washi tape. Now, you're gonna have to find the end of it, okay? You find the end of it and peel it up. So I've got a little end of it right there, and I'm just gonna stick it on there and start wrapping it around. Just like that. It doesn't have to be perfect. Now, rain sticks, you know, are still used by people today. When you think of Native Americans or tribal people, you think, oh, those are people of the past. They're not around anymore. But that couldn't be further from the truth. There's still tribes out there that still practice their ceremonies and their spiritual practices that their people have practiced for hundreds, if not thousands of years. I think it's really, really neat that an instrument like this can come from such an old, long-lasting group of people, and it's still used today. I think that's awesome. All right, so I've got my blue washi tape on there, and now I'm gonna use my pink. If I can find the end of it, sometimes it's a little tricky. There it is, I see it. Now I have fingernails that are really good at doing this kind of stuff, but you may need some help getting it up. Okay, and then I think I'll just go like this and go in the opposite, whoa, stick on here. I think I'm just gonna go in the opposite direction. Sometimes this washi tape doesn't want to stick completely, but that's okay. You just give it a firm press and it will. Okay. get going in the right direction here. All right. Now again, remember, you don't have to do this how I'm doing it, okay? I want you to do it how you want to do it. All right. And I'm not doing anything in any particular order, but you could draw pictures on yours or shapes. I'm just gonna mash down all of my tape and make sure it's all stuck down good. But that's what I have going so far, okay? Now I'm gonna skip my markers, but again, you can use your markers. You can use really cool paper with designs on it. Anything. You could put jewels on it if you want to. You could do anything you want to this. This is yours. Okay, but because I have my fancy stickers here now, I had all of these stickers made for you guys. All right, I called up this lady that I know that makes stickers, and I said, hey, I need a ton of stickers. In fact, let's see, there's 870 of y'all, and you each got 10, so that would mean that there was 8,700 stickers made for this project. Isn't that incredible? I think my math is right. Yeah. Yes, it is. 8,700 stickers. All right. So I'm just going to put some stickers on there. My little raindrop stickers. Cute. It's incredible what you can have made for you nowadays. People have all these specialized printers and machines that cut these this vinyl material. You can make all kinds of stuff. I think that's really cool that we're like almost in a new era of arts and crafts, that we can make things now that we couldn't really make before. Because we didn't have those technologies, or if we did want those things like stickers and stuff, we'd have to wait for a sticker manufacturer or somebody that makes stickers to put them in the stores. But now we can call up people that we know that have these machines and say, hey, I want stickers that look like this, and have it made for you. I think that's incredible. So I'm just kind of putting my raindrop stickers all around. I'm going to use every single one of them too, because I do not want these really cool raindrop stickers to go to waste. You see, I still have Mod Podge and markers all over my hands from our last two projects. Because when I'm doing these, I just roll from one right into the next one. Y'all might do these on different days, but I do them all at the same time. All right, my last sticker. I think I'll put it, wow, did a good job covering this thing. Okay, I think I'll put it right there. All right. Ta-da! I have my rain stick. Okay, so once you're done decorating it, you've got these two white circles. These are the end caps for your tube. All right, so you're just gonna put one on the end. It's gonna go with that, this side on the inside of the tube. Okay, and you're just gonna press it down. You could decorate this if you wanted to. You can glue something on it. You can hang strings with feathers from it. I mean, make it look however you want it to look, okay? So now that you have one end cap on, you're gonna take your foil, your sheets of foil, and unfold them, all right, just like that. And then you're gonna roll them up. Make a long strip, tube of it. I don't know what you want to call that. Just gonna roll it up. okay? So now you've got that, right? You kind of make it kind of tight. Now, because this is not a real cactus and we don't have the spines to knock into it, that would be on the inside, we are going to create that effect with this, all right? So when this is a cactus, all of those spines, once they get knocked into the tube, they're still inside the tube, but they're sticking in all directions inside the tube like that. And then the pebbles or the beans or the rice that are in there, when you turn it over, they knock against those thorns, those spines, and create that sound of rain, okay? So this is what that's gonna do for us, all right? So you've got this strip of tinfoil, and then I'm just going to kind of give it a twisty, turny shape, okay? Kind of tuck it and bend it just like that until we see that it's about the length of our tube. You see that? All right. Then we're going to place that inside of our tube. Get in there. All right, so now we've got it all the way in there. And now we've got this spiral of foil going all the way down our tube, okay? I'm gonna stand that up just like that. Now, this is where our rice comes in. This is what's gonna act as the grains that would be inside of the rain stick. Now, I've put a bunch in there, but you probably do not have to use all of it. But the great thing is once you put some in there and you put the other cap back on and you turn it over a couple of times and listen, if you want it to sound different, you can add more, or you could take some out until it sounds just like rain, okay? So I'm gonna start by adding, you hear that already? Isn't that cool? I'm gonna start by adding just a little bit. You see, I still have a good bit of rice in my bag. And then I'm gonna put my other cap on. You ready? I think it could use a little bit more. So I'm gonna take my cap off. Ooh! Take my cap off and add some more. Just a little bit at a time. You see, I still have some in my bag. Put my cap back on. And just imagine hearing rain. I almost feel like there's now too much in there. Okay, so actually I'm going to dump a little bit of it out. And I may even kind of squish this foil down a little bit more. Maybe I'll even take it out. Making a mess, that's okay. And create even more of a twisted shape. So it has more to knock up against. Okay. That's what's great about this activity, is that you can kind of play with how it sounds. Okay, let's listen. Very cool. All right. All right. You just keep experimenting with your foil and the amount of rice that you put in there. You can even, if you have some dried beans or if you can find some little pebbles, maybe experiment with putting those in here instead of the rice to see how it sounds, and just create your own little magical rain stick instrument. All right. Let's hope that this brings us some soothing, refreshing rain in the hot summer season. All right, great job. All right, did you have a lot of fun making our April art projects? I know that I did. All right, so you've got your butterflies, okay? Butterflies, all right. And you've got your rain stick. Okay, and then you've got your Easter basket. All right, I just have a couple of eggs in here just for decoration. All right, but isn't that so neat? Yeah. All right, so for those of you who are in DeSoto Parish, this is going to be your last box for this year, and I hope that you have an incredible summer, and I hope that I get to see you next school year, okay? If you're still going to be in preschool, you'll probably see me, maybe. We hope so, okay? All right, and then for those of you in Webster Parish, you'll get one more box before you're out on summer break, okay? So I'll see y'all real soon. I've had so much fun with all of you, and I hope you have a happy Easter. All right, bye-bye.